Welcome back. Now, in the last lecture, we studied about conditionals. Like, what if there is a boolean? We can, if that boolean is true, do this. And if that boolean is true, then do that. Otherwise, well, do that. So that was just basic if-else chaining. Today we're going to talk about comparison operators. Now, there are two parts to using the if-else's efficiently. You can use the comparison operators in combination with the use of logical operators. In this lecture, you will study comparison operators. Now, comparison operators, as the name suggests, are used to compare. They can be used to compare numbers, strings, and stuff like that. And it's very simple. If I just show you how that works, let's say we're comparing two numbers. Like, let's say I take n1 is equal to 5 and n2 is equal to 10. Now we're going to go over each of the comparison operators one by one. So let's go. First, I'm going to discuss the greater than operator. Now, greater than, as the name suggests, is just telling you whether some value is greater than something or not. I just take a simple variable name and, I use this operator. Now, this thing right here is going to return a boolean. Remember that it returns a boolean. This thing will always return a boolean no matter what happens. And when n1 is greater than 2, it's going to return true, and if it is not, well, it's going to return false. So let's check if our theory is right. Let's run comparison operators.py, and you'll see that it says false because n1 is, well, less than n2, not greater than. Alright, well, if it's less than, let's see if it is true for the less than part. Now there's another operator called the less than operator. And it's very similar. I'm sure that you've studied this in basic math, but where this angular bracket is open, that's telling you that that side is greater, and where it's closed, that means that that side is less. You can just remember that way. So if I show you whether something is less than something, you can just say something like this, and you can be like, oh, n1 is less than n2, cool. If I print this, it should give me true. Check this. And I can go more in detail here and give you some more better examples. For example, we can take any number here. We can say, well, is 83 less than 10? Well, of course not. So it's going to give me false. 120, yes, it is less than that. Pretty cool. Now let's talk about the greater than operator. And we're going to use these in if-else statements. So I'll show you how just in a moment. I want to show you all the operators first. n1 greater than equal now we're going to discuss greater than equal, and let's take a variable n1 greater than equal, or just for simplicity's sake, let's just print the value. Okay, greater than equal to n2. Now you can see very simply here that it's saying that some value is greater than, where the mouth is open, of the angle bracket, or where the angle bracket is open, and the other side is just telling you that it's either equal to that or greater than that. Pretty simple. If I run this, it should give me false because n1 is neither greater or equal to 92. If I say 99 here and 99 here as well, it'll give me true because it is true. Now let's talk about less than equal. Simple stuff, just in the opposite direction. So I can say, well, is n1 less than equal to n2? And it should give me true because it is. 5 is less than 10. And still, if I say 5 and 5, this should give me true as well because 5 is equal to 5. Pretty sick stuff, right? But you will use this and then you will understand why it's sick, because you can save a lot of time here. Now let's talk about not equal to. And it's just telling you whether something is, like as the word says, it's not equal to each other. So let's print, well, is 5 not equal to 9? Well, definitely 5 is not equal to 9, and it'll give you true. That's pretty simple. Well, and we'll see that we can use this very cool. If you don't see the application here, don't worry about it. Now let's talk about equal to, and equal to is pretty simple as well. N1 equal to N2. Well, definitely N1 is not equal to N2, but N1 is equal to 5, right? So I can just write it like that and it'll work just fine. Now, how do we use these things? Well, we use these things in if else. As I told you before, here in the conditional operators, you had to use this yourself. That oh, is the door open? Is the light on? Is the password valid? Let's take the password valid option and create a program using it. Right? Now I'm going to teach you another trick here, or function, very simple. There's a method called input, that from which you can use the input of a user from this console. So let's say I take password from a user, and that, let's say the correct password is 123456, right? And we have this correct password stored. In a string. And now what do we do? How do we compare these together? Well, Python can easily compare these two strings together. We just say password is equal to correct pass, then say correct password. And if that is not the case, incorrect password. You see how convenient it is for us to use this now. And if I run this program, well, if I write 123, it says incorrect password, and if I write 123456, it says correct password. You can do other stuff here. You can even do validation here. Well, if the length of the password is small or short or long, you can allow the user to log in and other stuff, which you will use in real life scenarios. You can compare two lengths together. You can say, well, is the length of the given password, if it is greater than 6, pretty cool, nice length. Too short password, and it'll also work just fine. Let's say 442 is my password. It says too short password, and 1234566 it says, well, nice length. So that was all for the comparison operators. In the next lecture, we're going to discuss logical operators, and after that, you should be pretty much able to use these operators. And I get that there is not enough application here. We're going to develop a full application using these principles in the next section. So you will be able to understand all these things, and make sure that you do your own projects and exercises that are given alongside. I will try to give you another exercise, but there is nothing much to do here with the comparison operators. We'll discuss this in the next section when the logical operators are done, and then we'll have a good exercise with logical operators. So I'll see you in the next one.